I am so glad to be here today. The Jenna Fox, the entertainer, the actress, the musician, the author, the mogul of so many different things, the Jenna of many trades. Listen to me, I'm trying to sell myself. No, just Jenna Webb, Jenna Allison Webb, known as my performer name is Jenna Fox. And I'm very excited. I'm glad to be brought on for this project. I'm so excited to be working with so many wonderful folks in this project. You know, so many of the aspects of this story kind of reflect my own life. And then when we got to talking to the director, we're like, who's going to play this part? And, you know, I secretly was kind of like, wouldn't it be great if... And the more folks we talked to, you know, it was just more profound to show that they're like, you know, they just turned to me and they're like, you know, Jen, you fit this part perfectly. Because you've got so much talent across the not only the gender spectrum, but across the media border. I mean, I've worked in radio and voiceover and acted and music and like I have all this experience, you know. So they're like, you'd be like this ideal character to really bring to life and bring life into Jane Friday. And, you know, what an honor it was. I'm like, you know, anticipated some other individuals in the industry that might take it on, but it was so exciting to have it be sort of brought back to me. And, you know, and if it goes to another level, you know, and someone wants to take it further, that's awesome. I'd be all for that. But, you know, a lot of my life kind of many ways twist from what Jane Friday has to say, so it kind of portrays over to my life. So they were like, well, who better than to fit a lot of your life experiences than to have you, you know, you can really hone in on that character very well. And, yeah, I was honored. So I'm very excited to be here and have this opportunity to, you know, to be the lead and of Jane Friday. So, you know, I'm Jenna Fox. I'm Jane Friday. And I'm a multitude of options and talent, you know, filled with the legendary RuPaul. Shout out to you. You know, uniqueness, charisma, nerve, talent. I seem to personify all those things very well. You know, I may have to tweak a few things here or there. I'm always a work in progress, I feel like. I'm not perfect at all those things, but I feel like, you know, I've got a lot of those in place, and people are starting to see that now, I think. And it's helped me hone things over the years, you know, to be able to take on these other parts and lead up to, you know, this one and whatever else might come. So I'm very excited to be part of this. Why acting? Well, due to my transition, going through life you kind of had to act through life. I found a lot of times through my life that I was already acting in my real life. Not making things up, but like trying to portray something else that I wasn't. And, you know, it always came very natural to me. So anytime that I had some projects, they were like, wow, she gets it. You know, and, you know, they might have to lead me or tweak me in a different way, or they want to guide me in a particular way that they want me to, you know, to portray a particular character. You know, of course I'll need that guidance. But that's kind of one big reason why I've always loved, and I've just loved doing it. I mean, it's always been a passion of mine, and it's such a great opportunity when to just be able to, you know, act when I'm doing sponsorships and in my videos and when I model, and like, so there's all these aspects of acting that come into play already. So just integrating that already in there with all those mediums was just an exciting opportunity. I was just so happy for that to happen. My favorite film? Well, it's going to be this one. No, but seriously, you know, I like some of the very early I mean, they had some really depth in characters from, you know, some of the old films back in the 20s and 30s, and you know, even today and in the last few decades, you know, when we've seen a lot of low budget stuff, you know, we see some really powerful acting there going on, and such deep storylines, more than people really pay attention, just because they might be made on a lower budget level. You know, a lot of those things stand out for me. So, you know, if someone had to ask me that and I had to hone in on one, I couldn't. Now, I definitely can tell you that I love comedy when it comes to, like, Monty Python, especially The Holy Grail. That was one of my all-time faves. You know, there's so many across the genre that if I sat here and tried to tell you all of my favorites, because I can't pick just one, it would take forever. So, you know, that gives you a little bit of an idea. Favorite actor? Well, you know, that comes back to one of my high school friends. I also have many that, you know, I've come to meet and really iconically look at, you know, in the AAA status, commercial side of things. There's many there. Again, not any that I can truly give you an answer for, and I'm sorry, there's just so many that I can't pinpoint one, because I take aspects from all different characters, and I can't say, this one's my favorite, this one's my favorite, so I can't do that. Why Jane Friday? Well, you know, that kind of answered in itself a little bit earlier in this interview, because it really fit me well, and I fit the character very well.
Jane Friday. Jane Friday. I'm Jane Friday. I'm a cop. My name's Friday. Jane Friday. I'm a cop. I do what's right. I do what's right. I see where you're coming from. Yeah. This is hard. GG!